short video to show how to use this for our lights, and this tablet is one that I'll just bring, and it has everything already preloaded on it. And over here, these are just some controls for it to be on the shows, which is what these are. Those show panels has to be on this one right here. There's settings here, and notice I have it set up in safe mode, so there's nothing while it's in safe mode that you can touch that's going to mess anything up as far as like the programs or anything. So all we have to do is select this, double click. Everything is a double click. And so in set 1 for Saturday, I'll give you a set list, but tunes 1 through 7 have one scene and it just stays. Oop, that just turned it off. Anyway, double click and the lights are up when you've got it up in this panel up here. Now if you double click again, it goes away. Now the lights are off. So double click and they're up. There's also over here 2 controls which you can mess with it if you want. That just turns them off, turns them back on. There's also a dimmer here if you wanted to dim out at the end of something or whatever. That's up to you. If you want to, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Okay, so once the 7th tune is finished, then we just hit the back or exit folder, and then everything is laid out in order, going down and then to the next row and down to the next row and down to the next row and down and so on. So the next tune is Midnight Train, and it only has one scene as well. Let's Groove only has one scene. Now Boogie Oogie Oogie has 10 scenes in it. So let's take a look at that. So the way this works is, on the beginning of the tune, you'll start the first scene. And so for instance, it says blue, that's just the color of it. Now on Boogie Oogie Oogie, there's a solo for Brian where he comes in and it says Brian, and some of these are fairly descriptive, so when it comes to that you just double click and boom, now we have a totally different set with a spot hopefully in the vicinity of Brian. And then when he finishes his solo, we just go on to the next thing, and now we've got a different set of things happening. And then the next section of the tune, the verse, when the vocalist comes in, and then back to, you know, the chorus, another verse, flashies on the chorus, back to Brian on his solo, flashies for the chorus out, and then last note just gives us a static scene most of the time to allow us to switch to the next tune. Okay, and that is pretty much it. When we just go through all of the tunes, and when we run out of folders, now Uptown Funk is our last tune, and so it's the last folder. The folders have this little blue zigzag on the side of them, as opposed to like Brass Solo, that's just a scene, and don't worry about that because you won't need those. Anyway, to go back, we just go back. Now we select set 2, and same thing, now we're set for One Fine Morning, and then it has several, and again everything section by section just runs column, go over the next column and down, and so on all the way through each tune. And anyway, some of these have one scene on them, some of them have a little bit more. Anyway, this is already too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and send it to you. Send me any questions you have. Thanks.